following preview has been rated good by the Good, the Bad, and the Weird podcast. Please check out the full episode when it releases on Wednesday. This winter, the toys are back for another trip down nostalgia lane, as Woody is captured by the fat, annoying neighbor from Seinfeld turned toy salesman before his death by dinosaur. And it's up to the gang in a visually impressive story with significantly better human models, the sequel, Toy Story 2. I'm Nico.
And I'm Chris. And yeah, significantly better looking is a great way to put this movie.
Yeah, we figured, because normally we don't do sequels a lot back to back, or even like our animated episodes in the past, we've just done the one and then moved on to something else.
Yeah.
But we felt with Toy Story, if we were going to cover them, we had to cover all three of them at once.
Definitely. And there's a reason for that. Especially as someone like me, I have watched a lot of the sequels, and most of them are, at best, fun, at worst, eye-gougingly bad. Toy Story is one of the only ones where all three of them, and the second one just as much as the first, changed something about the world of that which we live. The first one really changed how we expected to see a fully CGI film to look. Thankfully, we've evolved, and we've improved upon, but it's still fine. Like, it's still a good movie. The second one changed how we expect a sequel, especially like a Disney/Pixar, to look and feel and be written and directed and voice acted. Like, this movie looks great.
Yeah.
The voice acting is solid. The writing is really good. There's some cheesy parts occasionally, but honestly, I kind of needed the break from all of the depression that Woody is going through.
Yeah, and especially, like, it's a nice little in-between for what 3's going to become.
Definitely, because boy, howdy, 3 is a ride. But again, it changed how people expected a series to look.
Well, I think part of what makes Toy Story 2 so well done, despite some of the complaints I have with the lack of tightness in the writing, what it does well is it's good at repurposing and reusing elements from one in new and imaginative ways where you can be like, okay, this is like Woody feeling like he's getting replaced, but no, it's about abandonment and that the whole existential crisis of never being loved again.
Oh, for sure. I also really liked this one because this one did something that a lot of Disney-specific sequels didn't do, which is expand the world significantly. Yeah. We don't just get one or two new side characters. We get a whole new cast, but the original cast is all still there. And they fit in together really well. I also like that this movie actually, like, addresses that we, like, adults like us have stupid questions like, when does a toy die? What causes love? And it's like, yes, we heard and also have those same questions. We're going to expand on them, add more questions to your list, but we're not necessarily going to tell you the answer, which I like. I don't want to be told the answer to how the toys world works. I like coming up with my own theories, and I like that this movie added more elements to play with in those theories. None of them go against what I had or what, like, could be, but I'm also not told how any of it goes.
No, exactly. And I think that's one thing that really excels with Pixar is, granted, I haven't seen a lot of the sequels, and I think Toy Story 2, like you said, really expands the world. And part of the way the characters are able to work so well together is because Woody's the in.
Yes.
Like, they already have a kind of a member within the inner circle of Andy's toys. So it's very easy to translate them back over to be like, hey, these are the friends of Woody's. They can also be our friends too.
I also think that this movie did a fantastic job of bridging an aging viewership in a way that we don't see most, like, children-friendly movies doing. Even though, like, live-action ones included, it is hard to have a series grow with your audience, especially since, like, for now, we've only got a 4-year difference between when the first one came out and when this one came out. That's very impressive to be able to write and direct and have this ready to go with the understanding and knowledge that the people watching this have already lived the experience of the first one and they are ready for a new adventure.
Yeah, even like, Harry Potter was a feat in and of itself, but we've watched so many teen drama or team-based...
Yeah.
Teen-based novels get turned into movies that only last, like, one, and then the movies kind of go downhill after that,
And a lot of that is because with a book, it is easier to have a teen-based audience be the same age and have more problems to tackle because you're you don't really necessarily have to waste a whole lot of time. And for reading, there's a lot more leeway with, like, what your main character's age is versus you and how you relate to them. With a movie, you don't really get that luxury.
Yeah, no, exactly, because your actors, well, typically your child actor is going to grow with it. But this one, we only have Andy, who's the real child actor.
But the toys do such a great job of aging with both the children and the adults of this film, because the young parents who started watching these films with their kids are now an older parent who are having to deal with new scares, new worries about being a parent. And while it's not ever directly addressed, as in like Inside Out touches on parent-child relationships, there is still the same vibe and understanding and compassion that this movie hands out that you don't normally see. And I think that's part of the reason why it was so beloved. Yeah, well, and again, it's they took the time to craft it. I mean, we brought up that it almost wasn't this way. That was almost direct to video. Yeah. But I'm honestly glad that they did get the opportunity to proceed with it and make it something special, because you do see that too with a lot of animated movies where they go straight to video, and unfortunately, straight to video doesn't work for a lot of stuff. No, and especially nowadays. Like, I know the idea of straight to video is now more of like straight to Netflix, but honestly, unless you're getting really lucky, it's really easy, especially for a sequel, to get brushed under the rug. Toy Story 2 was one of the first ones outside of the Aladdin Jafar's Return, or Return of Jafar, to really make any big impression. And where Return of Jafar was at least received well, it wasn't necessarily marketed well, there was no real extra merchandise involved with it. This one went the full 9 yards, and it really changed how a lot of people saw kids' movies. They really were able to now see it as a full franchise, and paved the way for us to get a lot more really cool movies in the future. Yeah, I mean, hell, without this, we probably wouldn't have, like, the Croods or the Shrek movies. Oh, we definitely wouldn't have the Shrek movies, or at least 2, 3, 4... Shrek movies. We would have had the first one, and then the rest would have been kind of like the Halloween special, straight to DVD. No one was supposed to watch it. It was supposed to be for kids. Yeah, I'm surprised with how many like Disney specials there are, like holiday specials Disney has on Disney Plus. There's like, so many. Yeah, like I'll type in like a movie that I'm trying to find. It's like, oh, do you want this holiday special? And it's like, no, but I'm glad I know it exists, I guess. Disney has always been the worst about making things straight for VHS, and they are always very quick. They're usually low quality, and this movie really helped try to bring an awareness to especially the big franchises for trying to put a little bit more effort into the actual like sequel. They still make a lot of money on the straight to Halloween or Christmas, but like for the most part, like this really did change how we saw sequels for movies, on top of just really creating the Toy Story universe, which still impacts the world today. Oh, yeah. No, and I can see why 2 still has its impact. It's leagues above the first one in regards to textures and animation. But oh, yeah. No, Andy no longer looks terrifying to stare at. No. His sister, who we don't really see, I would like to think looks less like a demon. Yeah, and we actually have distinct character models. We do, and Al is a really good bad guy, especially from an adult standpoint, because Al, we are the adults. We are Al now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so, but anyway, this has been the Good, the Bad, and the Weird previews. Check out the full episode. Peace.